Snow is in the air tonight across the country. This is the scene right now in Denver, Colorado. Parts of that city expecting more than half a foot of snow by the end of tonight. We've already seen some snowflakes flying over our capital city today, but Brendan, we're only expecting to pick up about a dusting in most parts of our viewing area.
Yeah, Caroline, that's especially true for the Madison Metro.
Even though they played shorthanded, the Green Bay Packers beat the Houston Texans today 35-20 on the road. George Bilecki is live in the newsroom tonight to break down some key takeaways from today's win.
Of the highlights later on in sports. For now, live in the newsroom, George Bilecki with NBC15 Sports.
George, thanks so much. Looking forward to those highlights. And a change to Sunday night football. The Arizona Cardinals and Seattle Seahawks will now face off tonight in prime time. The Buccaneers were originally set to face the Raiders tonight, but that game was moved to 3 today instead. The NFL said the decision was made out of an abundance of caution after 2 Raiders players were potentially exposed to COVID-19. 3,626, the number of people who tested positive for COVID-19 today in our state. We are now less than 2,000 shy of 200,000 total cases since the pandemic started. Right now, we're on track to hit that new milestone about 5 weeks after first topping 100,000 total cases. 8 more people died from the virus today, bringing the death toll to 1,778.
We're moving this nomination forward. And colleagues, by tomorrow night, we'll have a new member of the United States Supreme Court.
Senate Republicans celebrating tonight after lawmakers advanced Judge Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court nomination in a key procedural vote. It's now all but certain lawmakers will vote to confirm Barrett's nomination sometime tomorrow, just 1 week before an election where control of Congress and the White House are at stake. We are now 9 days out before the election, and in battleground Wisconsin, polls show a tight race between both candidates. The latest Marquette Law School poll from earlier this month shows President Trump trailing Democratic challenger Joe Biden 41 to 46%. This year, absentee voting numbers have surpassed records both on a statewide and national level. Political experts say this upcoming week will be a race to the finish line.
Let's say that between lousy weather and people's concern about the rising number of cases in Wisconsin, if there are people who are not enthusiastic voters, they may just say, I'm going to skip it.
Coming up on NBC15 News at 10, we'll take a look at the latest early voting numbers here and how weather might play a role in turnout this week. Some local companies are making it easier for employees to get involved in the upcoming election. As NBC15's Sonica Bargo reports, they want everyone to have a chance to cast a ballot. Taking a closer look at the numbers, 12,000 more absentee ballots were cast in person yesterday. A little less than half of those were cast in Dane County. About 30,000 more were returned by mail statewide, including 2,000 more returned in Dane County. In all, more than 1.5 million Wisconsinites have already voted. President Trump is back on the campaign trail, holding events today in Maine and New Hampshire. In his speeches, he took shots at his opponent, mail-in voting, and former President Barack Obama. He also touted his administration's response to the coronavirus and the high level of care he received when he was sick. He'll be back in Wisconsin Tuesday, holding a rally outside La Crosse. Vice President Mike Pence is traveling to North Carolina for a rally today, despite 2 of his aides testing positive for COVID-19. The vice president recently came into close contact with one of the 2 who fell ill, though Pence and his wife Karen both tested negative for the virus yesterday. Democrat Joe Biden is in Delaware today, but his running mate Kamala Harris is speaking at several events across Michigan. Ahead of one of the rallies, she slammed Vice President Pence for not personally following coronavirus guidelines after an outbreak at the White House. One of Harris' staffers has also tested positive for COVID-19, forcing her to cancel trips at the end of last week. Starting tomorrow, NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt hits the road, traveling to key battleground states just 1 week ahead of the 2020 presidential election. As part of the Newscast special Across America series, Holt will be on the ground talking to voters and taking their pulse on crucial issues. One of those stops is right here in Wisconsin. On Tuesday, Holt will be in Milwaukee to talk to voters about possible restrictions and shutdowns, as well as the country's racial and social unrest. Next at 5, a teen is behind bars after Madison police say he stabbed a man multiple times in the back overnight. And dramatic video shows a cat rescued from a burning apartment.